Today in Britain, we are living in a parking hell. And as the world around us changes, parking our cars is more demanding than ever before. It's a constant battle against extra-large cars.
Cars have gradually got bigger.
My wheel has to be inside this line. The warden, he says, buy a smaller car.
Baffling technology.
You have to pay how they say, or you can't park.
I mean, forget what the government, Brexit and all these things, it's about bloody parking.
And bad parkers.
Is that because I'm parked outside the bay, is it?
Yes. People may see this as petty, but if more people were considerate, they wouldn't be issued fines.
There are simply too many cars and not enough space.
How's a fire engine going to get through that gap?
That's something that we'd need to address at that time.
Well, could you address it right now?
We're not going to address that now, sir. You still shouldn't be parking obstructing the pavement.
That is absolutely irresponsible.
In our overcrowded island of 65 million people, parking our car has never been harder. With 90% of us living in urban areas, there's nowhere more challenging to park than our towns and cities.
It's very hard to get a space. I park on double yellows, zigzags, wherever I can.
Many of us live in narrow terrace streets that can't accommodate the volume of cars on our roads. And in our desperate hunt for parking, we've mounted the pavement. It's causing issues across the country.
It's an absolute nightmare. People don't think about buggies or wheelchair users. It's frustrating.
There's absolutely no need for parking like this. It's just bad parking. If I can't get through, it's really dangerous.
Especially like busy roads like this, you'd have to walk for at least a mile or so just to be able to cross safely. It is really, really annoying.
One police force has decided to do something about it.
Morning, everybody.
It's the morning briefing at Hertford Police Station, and pavement parking is a top priority.
We've already conducted a period of education. The problem still exists, therefore we will move to a more robust enforcement.
This is a serious problem, sir, and we have a plan.
They have come up with a concrete plan to tackle pavement parkers. Prams. PCSO Dubicki is taking charge.
We've come along today with Operation Pram to see how the parking is. And the cars are parked extremely close to the verge and the hedge and the fences.
Pavement parking is a grey area. It's banned in London completely, but elsewhere it's tolerated unless you're causing an obstruction. Block the pavement around Hertford and the pushy police will find you.
If there are any obstructing, we will be issuing tickets.
Able-bodied councillor Susan Rutland Barsby has come along for the ride to see what it's like for wheelchair users on our pavements.
Right, I don't know what the people who park these cars are thinking.
I'm not going to get through there.
They're probably commuters that are on the way to work and they're parked in a rush and not giving any consideration to anybody that's going to try and get through there.
With terrace streets not designed for ever-expanding cars, this area is a hotspot for pavement parking.
You're going to have to go back into the road again, I'm afraid.
And it's not easy manoeuvring this up and down the curb when you've got several vehicles parked.
Easy, does it?
It was actually quite difficult when suddenly I had to be leant back to get up and down the curb. It was not a nice experience at all. I mean, I'm able-bodied, but, you know, a disabled person couldn't possibly manage all this and bumping up and down the curbs and things.
They've been unable to pass because it's such a narrow gap, so I'm just issuing a £30 fixed penalty notice for parking causing an unnecessary obstruction of the pavement.
Any cars causing an obstruction are getting a ticket, and that has got the residents' attention.
You don't want me to just leave it like that?
No, it's exactly
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you, sir.
Because I'm just being responsible.
Thank you.
We're just issuing tickets for cars that are obstructing the pavement, sir.
People obviously have to park and sometimes have to put a couple of wheels on the pavement, but don't park where you put other people at risk.
Local resident Mr Denton has accepted his penalty, but he's concerned that moving his car off the pavement could create another issue.
How's a fire engine going to get through that gap?
That's something that we'd need to address at that time.
Well, could you address it right now?
We're not going to address that now, sir. You still shouldn't be parking obstructing the pavement.
I get that. You find me. I've moved my vehicle.
OK, well, that's the end of the matter
I'd
then.
like to complain about the fact a fire engine can't get
that's
through
something you need to take up with the council then and the Highways Agency.
That's irresponsible to leave that there, no, an emergency vehicle, which could be one of yours, would not be able to get through there.
That's correct.
That is absolutely irresponsible.
I can't comment on something that hasn't actually happened.
So you're going to look at that and ignore it.
And if we get a call saying it's obstructing a vehicle, then we'll come and ticket.
I'll call you right now.
Sir, a vehicle has to be obstructing. You'd actually be making a call and you could be given a ticket for wasting police time, which is £90. I can understand the frustrating little bit. These houses were built a long time ago, and many years ago people didn't actually own cars, and now most houses have got sort of 2 cars, and the parking, especially in a town, is quite restricted, but we have to make sure that everyone keeps safe.
Temperatures are rising and one resident has fuelled the fire.
It's a very emotive subject. Someone has actually called the fire brigade now, and the fire brigade can't get through.
It's all well and good the police going around with a pushchair, but that's not the root of the issue. The root of the issue is things like this, as we can clearly see. Council don't want to do anything about it, the police are not interested in it. The response from the police is simply that they would only deal with that issue if and when an event happened. How do you know when a fire is going to happen? So as residents around here, we live in constant apprehension that emergency vehicles cannot safely get down the road because of inconsiderate parking such as that.
PCSO Debicki is trying to curb her anger.
You going to ticket that car?
I'll ticket, sir. I'll do my job, thank you.
I'm asking you.
I'll do my job. I'm just waiting for the sergeant to come here.
I didn't call the fire brigade. One of my neighbours called the fire brigade. I did not call the fire brigade.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
You go back indoors now. We'll deal with that.
Well, so what? Shall I see how fire engines going to get through that gap?
Okay, and when the disabled person comes...
I was in the wrong, and I moved my vehicle.
Okay.
And
So you need to calm down.
I am calm.
You look very angry.
After discussions with the fire inspector, a decision has been made.
All the cars that are causing an obstruction, I'll ticket them, sir.
I'm going to look forward to watching you do that, because that's what you didn't do earlier.
Okay, because there wasn't an obstruction at the time, sir. And if I take that yours, I'll ticket yours as well.
With the fire truck now stuck, it's a no-win situation. But watch out. Pavement parking could soon be banned across the whole of the UK, and you could face a fine of £70. Britain's obsession with cars is at an all-time high. There are 10 million more cars on our roads than a decade ago. Parking them is a nightmare. When we get pipped to the post, it can make our blood boil. The love affair with the motor car is growing, and so are the cars we are buying. Why do we always think big is better? It wasn't always that way.
The little cars corner at amazing speed. They look like showing the Volkswagen and similar invaders just where they get off.
The most popular British cars have increased in size by 16% in the past 40 years. And that's just made it even harder to park. In desperation, us Brits have concreted over a staggering 7 million front gardens just to park our cars. But over in the suburban idyll of Ilford, on a street called Roll Gardens, residents are being fined for parking on them.
I'm getting a fine to keep my car on my own driveway. It's so frustrating.
The last place you expect to get a ticket is on your own drive. Overzealous wardens are penalising cars protruding onto the pavement. And the locals' patience has hit a wall.
That's it. That car there, it's just slightly over, which would get a fine if the parking attendant comes down again.
In 2017, 171 fines were handed to the people on this street, including Furdus.
My wheel has to be inside this line. I think it is in, maybe 1 inch out. I don't know if the warden will come and give a ticket for this. It's totally frustrating. I have nothing more to do than to park like this.
Town councillors Karen Packer and Ashley Kissin have been called in to help residents.
Why should I not be able to park on my own driveway?
Today they're listening to the locals, who could definitely shed a few inches off their cars.
People were coming home from work with their cars ticketed and then the next day ticketed. And so that's what started all of this off.
And in some cases, it wasn't even the wheels, it was just the rear of the car was overhanging and they were being ticketed.
Even though they're overhanging, nobody is blocking the footpath.
If the two of us can get through, I'm sure somebody with a double buggy can get through.
It's just not fair on the ordinary resident.
It's total lack of common sense by the parking wardens.
But with no other option but to park on their drives, they're in a cul-de-sac.
Never in all the years I've been here have I had a ticket before. It's totally unfair.
It's a constant squeeze.
It's so hard to judge. Bang. Well, it got so close it actually banged against the wall, which is doing no good for the car or the wall. I'm not a useless woman driver, though.
It's the same story all down the street. With cars hitting walls, it creates a crushing problem.
Pop-up hood failure. And I have to go to Lexus and pay £65 to fix it. And each time I hit the wall, it will be again £65. It's frustrating.
It's a dead end. What are the residents supposed to do?
I spoke with the warden, and he says, buy a smaller car.
I don't think any traffic warden's got the right to tell anybody what car to buy. If they want to buy a tank or a Rolls-Royce or a Mini, he hasn't got the right to do that.
At the moment, they seem to have stopped the ticketing, and I'm hoping it's going to stay that way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but what is said and what happens could be two different things.
Well, we'll wait and see.
They've got nowhere to turn. Unless there is a sudden resurgence in the small car, the problem isn't going to go away. Maybe those wardens in Roll Gardens are just doing their job, protecting us from the perils of the pavement parker. Down in Southampton, Mandy and guide dog Fable know those perils only too well.
Off we go then. Good girl. Off we go.
Life can be somewhat of an obstacle course for Mandy and her faithful pal Fable. It's so bad she started posting videos of the problems online.
Good work. Good girl. Find the way then. There are obviously things that are difficult to deal with, so obstructions on the pavement, such as wheelie bins. Oh, good girl. OK, can you find the way? But one of the biggest issues we come across lately is parked cars on the pavement. The biggest problem for me with it is safety. Good girl, nice work. Should we find the curb then? It forces us into the road, into oncoming traffic. I can't see it properly and make that judgment call. Lovely work. I don't think they do it on purpose to force a blind person into the traffic. I think they probably just don't think. Good girl, Fable, good girl. I can't see enough to see flashing lights or drivers waving, or even if a driver's sat in the car or not. Hey, clever girl.
And today is just like every other day.
Can you find the way? What she'll do is she'll take me to the curb. Good girl. At this point, I then need to make a judgment call as to whether the road is safe enough for us to pass the car. Fable, forward. She sat down when I asked her to go forward. So I think there was someone that was letting us go, but I couldn't really tell. I could just hear the car. So I kind of just waved to let them go past so that we had a bit more space. Forward. Keep in. That's it. And then I tried forward again, and she went, so I'm guessing there was a bigger gap between the traffic for her to get through. Good girl, nice work. Oh, you are a clever girl. Very good girl. That was a bit scary, wasn't it? A bit more adrenaline than you need on your way to work, to be fair. The heart's going a little bit. She does do me proud every single day. I keep saying, I wonder if there'll ever come a time where she doesn't amaze me. Fable, come on, let's go.
So does Mandy have a solution?
If I was a car driver and I didn't have any parking at my property, I wouldn't like the fact that I couldn't park outside it either. So I do think it's a really difficult call, but ultimately I think safety and road safety does need to come first.
Good girlie.
Just hold him. Get your car off my van. That's your car, it's on my van. Will you get it off? Just call the police.
But sometimes problems with parking isn't just about a lack of space.
Look at the gap. Just reverse your car up. I want to get out, man. Get your car off my van.
Driver Gary has come out to find his work van blocked in.
Get in your car, reverse it. There's a lamppost in front of me.
Whether this was inconsiderate or incapable, we'll never know. Today in Weston-super-Mare, inconsiderate parkers are out in their droves.
People seem to sort of abuse the hectic and mayhem to think that we're not out and about, but we are.
It's the beach race.
Today's a big day. Bike race is probably going to be a lot of families around here.
It's one of the largest off-road motorsport events in the UK calendar. It's high-octane, fast-paced racing all weekend. It's also one of the busiest days of the year, with 100,000 visitors and their cars filling up the town.
Is it to do with you? Yeah. I do need it moved now, mate.
The civil enforcement officers are out in force.
That's fine, Dad.
Everyone will be looking to park, whether that's for the day or settling down for the whole weekend.
You ready for the beach race?
Yeah.
You can't have you park like this. If you move it to the back and across the couple, that'll be golden. All right. Cheers, mate.
One CEO keeping the town moving is Dan.
You're not doing a nice job, but it's a job that's got to be done.
He's got one eye on the law.
There are rules, laws, and if you don't follow them, expect a penalty.
And one eye out for the people.
Unfortunately, I've just noticed on your ticket, 10p.
Oh.
I know it's really stupid, but it is 10p on there. So you get another 30p ticket, like that will more than make up for any allowances on there. So that's all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Some people say we love getting tickets in. I generally don't. Generally don't like it.
He might come across like an angel.
Unfortunately, you can't park here, I'm afraid. There should be space further at the top. I've been called many different names. I think the best one has been, the Saint of Weston.
And doesn't he just know it?
I just happen to follow the rules, which makes me a little bit better than perhaps the next person to me.
And on busy days like today, he needs more of those. There's no room for inconsiderate parkers.
The wheels are intruding into the next day. Just going to do an issue on this vehicle for not being in the bay markings. We have signs all over the car park says, make sure you're parked in a marked bay. You can clearly see the white lines. People may see this as petty, but we can give certain leeway if the vehicle was on the white line, but if you're over it, then unfortunately you're stopping somebody else from parking. If more people were considerate, they wouldn't be issued fines.
But offenders don't see it quite as black and white.
Is that because I'm parked outside the bay, is it?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That is a joke, man.
As you can tell, the driver was nappy. He knew fully well what he'd done. He said, is that because I'm out of a marked bay? As harsh as it may sound, it's his own fault for why he got the ticket. So, if people were a bit more considerate of their parking, there wouldn't be so many issues in Weston.
As a nation, we are supersizing. Our population is rising, our towns and cities are expanding, and our roads are getting busier. 76% busier than our European neighbours. New developments are multiplying across the country, and often the last thing to be accounted for is our need for car parking. There is no doubt there is becoming less and less space to park our cars. Nowhere is a lack of parking more prominent than in Southend-on-Sea.
I like to refer to it as the armpit of the East Coast, but it's gone on from there and it's become almost gentrified.
But there's nothing gentrified about this. Today, Southend is undergoing a £50 million makeover, hoping to bring this fading Victorian town into the modern age.
They're knocking that down, and that's going to be part of the development here as well.
But local business owners predict a problem.
The regeneration of the area is great, but it needs adequate parking. We're cutting spaces, we're adding to the demand, and it's going to be a disaster.
And where visitors to the town used to arrive by train or coach, times are changing.
As soon as the sun comes out, people jump in their cars and they come to Southend for a day out by the seaside. On a busy weekend, you're talking tens and tens of thousands of people come down.
For each coach, there's probably 10, 15, 20 cars.
And with an increasing lack of parking spaces, it's becoming a parking pantomime.
We're in what I call apocalypse.
It's jam-packed, bumper to bumper, with people driving around in circles, parking on double yellow lines, parking in dangerous places.
We actually get traffic jams and gridlock within the car parks themselves. What we have here is the car park's full and your cars are still coming in looking for spaces. So this scenario you see here with the cars circulating and leaving the car park, that happens everywhere. All the roads become gridlocked and the whole town comes to a standstill.
They can't find the space, and then they start parking anywhere they can find on the verge, somebody's front garden, and the queues go, the tailback goes miles out of the town.
At times it can be a complete nightmare.
And that's not all. With the introduction of the newfangled cashless parking, old pay and display machines aren't being maintained.
I believe there's 5 machines in this car park, 3 of them are out of order. But the only working meter in the middle there, you can't see that, you can't see the sign.
So with only a few working machines, once you've queued to park, you queue again to pay.
Not very visitor friendly.
And then on top of it all, they've now decided to do away with all the cash paying meters or parking machines and do them by phone. That's ever so okay for everybody who's got a phone, but I'm just one of those people who hasn't got one, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
So there you see half of a ticket machine. Now you need to have a mobile phone that's charged, and you have to have a means of paying on that phone. But you have to pay how they say, or you can't park. So can we park because the machines are broken?
No, because it's got to pay by phone.
Yeah, but I haven't got a credit card, I've only got cash.
No, nobody's expected to carry credit cards.
No,
it's not mandatory.
I would advise to find somewhere else to park.
What, so leave the seafront and park somewhere else, is that what you're saying?
That's what I would advise.
Right, thank you very much for that. It is a complete shambles and people get very, very angry. And it stops people coming back.
Southend is in decline. So, I mean, forget what the government, Brexit and all these things, it's about bloody parking. And, you know, that's the thing that does more damage to us than anything the government can throw at us.
The car is our oxygen. If we can't get cars coming here, you cut off our oxygen supply, the businesses will die out and tourism in Southend will die out.
But trying to manage our insatiable appetite for cars are our traffic wardens. And across the country, in Weston-super-Mare, the beach race is in full swing and there are ticket dodgers everywhere.
A lot of vehicles, they will knowingly park where they know their restriction is, but as soon as they see us, they always tend to drive away extremely quickly. It's like it's Halloween or something, you know, they think we've got a really ugly mask on. Yeah, it's like Halloween every day for us. People run away from us all the time.
While some might think of Dan as scary, there's a softer side to this enforcement officer.
As I always say, we're not all bad.
More of a parking educator.
The reason why we issue fines for people that, you know, sort of parked on pavement, parked on road, is that I get a lot of complaints from mothers, particularly pushchairs and wheelchairs users, because now somebody, you know, comes along, they would be going out on the road, so that's potentially endangering lives, and, you know, people, you know, shouldn't be accepting of that. Hello, sir. Yeah, is this your own vehicle? Unfortunately, you're blocking part of the pavement, so anyone with like a wheelchair or a pushchair can't get down there, so you do need to move your vehicle. Yeah. So if you move it now, then it's actually fine. Is that all right? Cheers, mate. He was very compliant, and that's what we like to see from the members of the public. We just want people to be parking legally and lawfully.
You're not likely to encounter such an agreeable warden in a private car park. An increasing number of car parks across the country are now in the hands of private parking companies. It's $1 billion business, and we're paying the price. In Ashford, Surrey, one private car park has been dishing out tickets at an alarming rate, and the motorists have taken to filming their own evidence.
You've put a ticket on my car while I'm in the car with the engine running.
We're about to parking, man. Private. We've just turned up, mate. We've been here for 30 seconds, mate.
30 seconds?
Not even giving motorists a chance to pay to park.
Many people were wandering over to get a ticket. They didn't have enough change, go to get change, come back and they've got a ticket.
Local resident Stuart is a victim of this car park and knows how ruthless the wardens could be.
Welcome to the notorious Ashford car parking site. The signage in this particular car park is very, very confusing. What we have is a big sign up here that says you get 30 minutes free parking.
But this only applies to the front half.
The shops have the car parking facilities in the front of their shops. So you've come into the car park, you have 30 minutes free car parking. Oh look, all the bays are full, what do we do now?
Forced by a one-way system in the rear of the car park, motorists think the same rules apply. But this area was leased to a cutthroat company.
There was no solid white line to define the demarcation area.
Yeah, matey, but you don't have to stop and park without paying. Look, he's issuing a ticket to his van, look, and the man's still sitting in the van. I'm going to get a ticket.
Most private parking wardens, like these guys, work on commission.
The slightest excuse to put a penalty charge notice on your vehicle, or parking charge notice, and this company would do that.
Putting a ticket on you when I'm sat in my car, so it's called it a gun pavement.
It's just a money-making scheme, a scam, that's all it is.
It's illegal. In 2 minutes, right, you don't...
Private parking remains unregulated by the government. However, we do have the right to appeal. And in Ashford, motorists are fighting back with the help of local crusader Michelle. She's got a bone to pick with this car park.
Enough was enough. You had to be Usain Bolt really quick, run to the machine and run back. People were taking pictures of their tickets in the windscreens because they were so paranoid they were going to come back to tickets.
A social media group, which she now manages, was set up to help victims. It has upwards of 1,800 members.
Most of them are on there because they've had tickets and they're worried about where it's going to go. Should they pay? Should they not?
A lot of misleading information online says that private parking companies are powerless to pursue charges. But this is not the case.
We just advise people what to do, where they stand, and we say to them, look, if you truly believe that you're not in the wrong, then fight it.
We'll be coming back to Michelle as she goes to court to fight for justice for a local mum who received a parking fine in the Ashford car park. When a private parking charge arrives through your door, all is not lost. In Warrington, Poplar is an organisation here to consider our side of the story. With more private parking companies and more cameras and apps being used to catch us out, these guys deal with over 50,000 of our appeals each year. John Gallagher is the main man, and along with 30 other adjudicators, examines our evidence to decide our fate.
Poplar's important because it gives wrong motorists somewhere to turn.
Over the last 10 years, there's been a 1,200% rise in the number of private parking penalties dished out to you and I.
Parking operators don't always get it right, and sometimes people do receive parking charges that are unfair or incorrect.
And today, with number plate recognition cameras in more of our car parks, we're being monitored even before we've bought a ticket, as Chris found out in a busy car park in Gloucestershire.
Their argument is it's this 20 minutes that I queued to get parked that I'm in breach of their rules.
And when cameras replace pay and display machines, there's no way to top up your time. As mother of two, Danielle discovered when she was held up at a fast food chain.
I get a fine for £100. The restriction was an hour and I'd gone over it by 10 minutes. There isn't the facility to pay. What are you meant to do? Are you meant to say to the kid, drop your food, we've got to go back to the car?
And when they want you to add registration details, even if you don't have to pay, it can get very confusing. As David found out at a hospital car park in Cardiff.
Park the car, display the blue badge, and then receive this thing in the post saying I owe 70 quid.
Not happy at all.
All three musketeers believe their fines are unjust.
It just seems totally unreasonable to me.
Today, Poplar must now decide if that is the case. We will all just have to wait and see. Parking charges have definitely been driven up in recent years. We used to get a £2 fine when traffic wardens first marched onto our streets nearly 60 years ago.
One of our cameramen went behind the scenes to see what the Metropolitan Police have up their sleeve. This fine body of 50-year-olds, that's the average age, are the first of the new traffic wardens in training to keep the traffic flowing. Mostly former servicemen, they soon finish their basic training.
Well, haven't things changed? Once celebrated, now abominated. And it's not that surprising when you consider that last year a whopping £819 million was made in parking charges from us motorists. Luckily, over in Weston-super-Mare, the CEOs prefer educating over ticketing. It's one of the busiest days of the year. The beach race is in full swing, and Dan is trying to instill a bit of old-fashioned civil enforcement.
You don't tend to be evil in this job. You just got to be fair and consistent.
On busy days like today, he knows mistakes can happen.
A lot of people, they pay their ticket, they put it on the car. What a lot of times they do is actually sort of drops down into the door. Yeah, we always fully check the vehicle before we issue a fine on it, so if they do have a ticket, it's just literally on the floors.
But sometimes people simply push their luck, and then you have to think of new ways to get through to them.
It's amazing how much conversation we can have with the general public with our hands. It's amazing that, we say pay and display ticket, they refuse to speak to us, and they're like, no. And it was like, 5 minutes, they do all that hand gesture. So do you have a pay and display ticket? Yeah, if you go now, go get one, okay? Machine's just down there. As soon as you get out of the vehicle, you have 10 minutes to get a ticket, so that's plenty enough time.
And with the town overrun with support vehicles, Scott is trying to be sympathetic too.
On a normal weekend, trailers aren't allowed in here, but we're being lenient this weekend.
But leniency only goes so far.
We've come in, asked them to move their vans to a more appropriate place, spoke to them about their litter. They said it's not theirs, but after being told CCTV are looking, they've said they'll clean it up.
So a ticket was avoided and the car park was cleaned. Dan's 10 minutes are up. He's back checking the cars without tickets. But what grinds his gears is when people simply don't listen.
Came across this vehicle earlier and spoke to the driver. He said, yeah, no problem, I would absolutely get a ticket. So I thought, brilliant. He'll get a ticket, no problem on that. Unfortunately, this is what gets me really angry, is the fact that he's willingly ignored us. It's just disrespect. You would have thought he would have had a bit more decency and courtesy to actually get a ticket when he was told to and advised to.
But even if you're sitting in your car, you still need a valid ticket.
So, but that's just annoying me now because there was no need for me to give him a ticket. I don't want to give him a ticket, but it just frustrates me, that's all, because he's now wasted £35 a park fare. It's madness. Whereas, if he was park here for a couple of hours, it would have been £2.50. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But it is his own fault. But yeah, it's annoying that situation had to occur because he refused to comply.
Remember that private car park in Surrey, where a notorious company were angering motorists with their ruthless tactics?
Didn't even check to see if he had a ticket and windscreen up.
The wardens were so quick to pounce that parkers had started filming their own evidence.
Why are you issuing him a ticket and then walking off? Pardon? How do you know he ain't on a job?
I'm working out here.
Where?
Outside the shop. Somewhere outside the shop.
Who knows why they do it? They just became a little bit bully boy, really.
Look at you parking in the parking spaces.
The only way you can describe it is a total scam.
It wasn't just the motorists that had been affected.
The private parking company that were around the corner had a detrimental effect on the trade in the town.
I lost customers over it. Some guys, you know, were so upset. I've never seen them since after getting the car park ticket.
In my opinion, they were legalised criminals.
Everyone in Ashford knows about the car park. I think it's infamous now.
Today, Michelle and local resident Stuart, who were both targeted at the car park, are fighting back.
It got a bit busier than we thought, to be honest. You know, some small little car park with about 50 parking bays. We didn't think it was going to go as far as it has done.
The cases have gone past the likes of Poplar and all the way up to a court of law.
We've now been to court 15 times. I'm due actually in court in 15 minutes' time to represent another resident who's been unfairly ticketed in this car park. We've had 15 wins so far, and hopefully this will be number 16.
It's time for the hearing. Michelle and Stuart are with Gemma, a local mum bombarded with debt collectors' letters after her unfair ticket.
Hopefully we will win. We've been very successful so far, so may it long continue.
Fingers crossed everything's going to go in my favour and it will get dropped.
In the year and a half that the company managed the site, they issued 10,000 charges to parkers. And of those, nearly half decided they shouldn't have to pay. The case is coming to a close. It's the moment of truth.
Positive results.
It's another win.
I feel really, really happy. Glad it's all over, but glad I won.
But there is an even bigger win for this town. As complaints about the parking mounted, the landowner kicked them out.
It was a major, major success when they finally went.
And recently a new company have moved in, and so far seem to be acting fairly.
The amount of complaints that we have had from the car park has dropped dramatically by at least 98%. Trade is very slowly returning to the high street and public feeling is slowly getting better.
Michelle has just been lobbying it all the way. She is our local hero.
I had comments like, you know, on Florence Nightingale of Ashford, but no.
This rogue parking company has well and truly been booted out of town. One small step for Ashford, and another black mark on private parking. How we park is changing, and motorists are being outfoxed by parking's eye-in-the-sky technology.
The style of the letters, we've caught you, you're in breach, all of these sort of words that basically make you feel like a criminal.
Back in Warrington, Poplar help when we feel bamboozled by the changing face of private parking.
Of the appeals that we've received, around 50% have resulted in the parking charge being cancelled.
The devil is in the detail.
We do really look into the stories that people tell us and what fits the circumstance.
Little details can persuade us.
They send out 1,000 verdicts a week. That's 100 people getting good news every day. Today, David, Danielle, and Chris
Let's see if we've got this appeal through yet.
will all find out their fate. Parking is an emotive subject. These guys want justice. The verdict is in.
I just received an email now saying that they've come to a decision.
Here's the decision.
Your appeal was not successful. Disgusted. Absolute bollocks.
It's been unsuccessful. I mean, it's disappointing. You don't want to be handing over £100 for something that's quite, to be honest, ridiculous.
They're not getting a penny out of me. That's the end of. This decision is shit.
Yes, your appeal was successful. Your parking charge is not effective and you do not need to take any further action. Get in.
No one likes to be accused of doing something wrong. Poplar gives wrong motorists somewhere to turn.
Result. Thank you, Poplar.
With a 50-50 chance of success, it seems incredible that only 1% of us that have received a private parking ticket have appealed it. So next time you get a ticket that you think is unjust, It might be worth a shot. Back in Weston and the bike race is coming to an end. The hordes of people are finally heading home. It's the end of a long shift for our CEOs. But one pedestrian isn't going anywhere. Dan is still pounding the streets.
Fully appreciate that, it is, beach race day. However, this vehicle's expired at 8 minutes past 1. It's now nearly 3:30, so...
He's having a last-minute flurry.
Yeah, unfortunately, our vehicle needs to be in a bay. It can't be, 2 wheels in and then 3/4, 90% on the double yellows. It's an extremely lazy way of parking. Lazy parking won't be tolerated. I don't want to be handing out fines on a day like this and ruining people's day. But I just wish they wouldn't legally park and then I wouldn't have to do this. 1:45 the expiry time was, and now it's 4 o'clock now. People will learn, unfortunately, the hard way. It's really frustrating sometimes.
But Dan does find some pleasures and perks in his work.
So I was actually sort of a bigger guy when I first joined the team, and I have lost nearly about 2.5 stone, so it does wonders for weight loss. My watch just told me that I've lost 450 calories, so that's a big bonus for today.
And Dan is happy to be out and about, policing the town he loves.
I was born in Wales, but I've lived in Weston all my life from there, so I'm sort of half Welsh, half English, as my colleagues like to remind me every day. Anyway, guys, have a good rest of the day, all right? I'm not here just because I couldn't be a police officer. I actually genuinely do enjoy what I do. I could be doing a number of things if I wanted to. I could go back to work in a retail outlet. I can go back to, serving tables at a restaurant. But I really like this job. Actually, maybe this is the job for me.
And Weston needs you, Dan.